All right, today we are diving deep into one of Markham's most practical, high value neighborhoods. It's one of those places that kind of flies under the radar, but for families who are in the know, it delivers in a huge way. We're talking about German Mills. So let's be real. You're looking for a home in Markham, and you've probably got your heart set on a few spots, maybe Thornley or even Unionville. But the prices in those areas, they can feel pretty out of reach, right? It's a super common frustration for buyers, finding that perfect mix of location, schools, and actual value. But what if I told you there was an alternative? A neighborhood that gives you so many of the same core benefits, but without that crazy premium price tag? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into today, the German Mills Advantage. You see, German Mills has this really unique character. This isn't some brand new subdivision. It's a solid, established community, tucked away just north of Steeles. It's all about these beautiful, mature lots and quiet, winding streets. And honestly, the secret weapon? It's the German Mills Creek and its trail system that weaves right through the neighborhood. It gives the whole area this green, spacious feel that you just don't find everywhere else. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, especially when you compare it to its very famous and very expensive neighbor, Thornley. German Mills is literally right next door. They share school zones, they have similar lot sizes, and they offer the same kind of neighborhood stability. For all intents and purposes, they share the same DNA. But there's one massive difference. And here it is. The average home price in German Mills is about $1.24 million. Okay? In the neighborhood right next door, Thornley, it's $2.19 million. That is a staggering difference of nearly $1 million. For you, that can mean a much, much smaller mortgage or almost $1 million in extra equity just for living on the other side of an invisible line. It's incredible. Okay, so a price difference like that is pretty compelling. So now let's dig into the two things that really drive that value for so many families: the quality of the schools you get access to and the specific prices you can actually expect to see. One of the biggest reasons people want to live here is the schools, and this is where German Mills just really shines. You get access to German Mills Public School, but the big price here is at the high school level. Thornley Secondary School, which is one of the highest-ranked public high schools in all of Ontario, and St. Robert Catholic High School, which holds just as much prestige. So listen up, because this is the most crucial point. Your home's address, and whether it falls inside that Thornley Secondary School boundary line, is one of the single most important factors for your investment. This isn't just about education. We're talking about protecting your biggest financial asset. Homes inside that zone attract way more competition, and they hold their value better long term. So what does it actually cost to get in? This table breaks it all down. You've got townhouses starting under $800,000, which is a great entry point, and then it scales all the way up to these large, fully renovated detached homes that can get close to that $2 million mark. There's a surprisingly wide range of options here. And what drives that big price difference within the neighborhood? Well, it really comes down to two main things. First, location. If your home backs onto that beautiful creek and trail system, it's going to command a premium. And second, the condition. Remember, most of these homes were built in the 70s and 80s, so a fully renovated turnkey property is going to sell for a lot more than a fixer-upper. Okay, so now you get the why behind German Mills value. Let's talk about the how. This isn't a market you can just jump into unprepared. So here's a practical playbook for how you should approach it. The process is pretty straightforward, but every step is critical. First, get your financing totally locked down. Second, you've got to decide what you're really looking for, a move-in ready home or a project. Third, and I can't stress this enough, verify that school boundary yourself. Fourth, study the market. Inventory is limited, so you need to know what a fair price looks like. And finally, with these older homes, a thorough inspection is absolutely non-negotiable. And speaking of inspections, here are the major red flags you need to look out for in a home from this era. We're talking about things like aluminum wiring, super common in the 70s and can be pretty expensive to fix. Also, galvanized plumbing, original windows, and potential moisture issues, especially for those homes near the creek. You need an expert eye looking for these specific problems. And that brings us to a really crucial point. Being able to spot these potential issues takes a trained eye, which is exactly why navigating a market this specific, with its unique opportunities and its unique risks, really requires specialized on-the-ground knowledge. This quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. It's not just about looking at data online. It's about knowing the subtle differences from one street to the next, identifying homes with hidden problems before they become your problem, and having the confidence to move fast when that perfect property finally comes up. So, what does a local expert really mean in this context? It means an agent who doesn't just work in Markham. They specialize in German mills. They understand the exact nuances of the school boundaries. They know the telltale signs of 1970s construction issues, and they can guide you through the very specific challenges of this unique market. The source material we're pulling from is very clear on this. For buyers looking specifically in German mills, it identifies the Kirby Chan & Co. real estate team as the specialists who can help you navigate everything we've talked about today, from the pricing and school zones to the very specific risks of these older homes. So there you have it, a neighborhood with top-tier schools, incredible green space, and a price tag that gives you a clear advantage over its neighbors. The hidden value is right there, plain to see. The only question left is, are you ready to take a closer look?